Governor Bello Matawale approves the appointment of new emir of Kauranya Muda. Nigeria records 195 new COVID-19 cases. President Muhammadu Buhari appoints former APC Suleiman Abba, Chairman Police Trust Fund Board of Trustees. On business, NNPC reduces petrol ex-depot price to 180 naira. And on the international scene, this peace overcomes as Russia vows low COVID-19 death toll. Welcome to Standard Voice Television News. My name is Samira Ibrahim. Now the news in full. Governor Bello Muhammad Matawale Maradon has approved the appointment of Alhaji Sanusi Muhammad as the new emir of Kauranya Muda. The approval follows the recommendation from the Kauranya Muda Traditional Council as enshrined in the selection procedure. Alhaji Sanusi Muhammad succeeds the late emir Alhaji Muhammad Ahmad Aisha, who passed away following a brief illness. Until his appointment, the 40-year-old Alhaji Sanusi Muhammad was a serving major in the Nigerian army. While praying once again for the repose of the deceased emir, Governor Bello Muhammad Matawale wished the new emir a successful reign. The Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, has announced the granting of 2-month license fee waiver for terrestrial broadcast stations in the country by the National Broadcasting Commission (NBC) as part of efforts to ease the negative effects of COVID-19 pandemic on the broadcasting industry. The minister, who stated this at a meeting with the Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria born in Abuja on Wednesday, also announced the setting up of a committee of creative industry stakeholders to look into and advise the federal government on the best way to mitigate the effect of the pandemic on the industry. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control (NCDC) has confirmed 195 new COVID-19 cases in the country, taking Nigeria's total cases to 3,145. Of the new cases, 82 are in Lagos, 30 in Kano, while 19 are in Zamfara and 18 in Sokoto. 10 are in Borno, 9 in FCT, 8 in Oyo, 5 both in Kebbi and Gombe. 4 cases were recorded in Ogun, 3 in Katsina, while Kaduna and Adamawa have 1 case each. 534 patients have recovered so far and have been discharged, while 103 persons have died so far. The novel coronavirus has killed at least 260,546 people since the outbreak first emerged in China last December, according to a tally from official sources compiled by AFP at 19-hour GMT on Wednesday. More than 3,710,240 cases were registered in 195 countries and territories. Of this, at least 1,153,300 are now considered recovered. The tally is using data collected by AFP from national authorities and information from the World Health Organization (WHO) probably reflect only a fraction of the actual number of infections. Many countries are testing only the most serious cases. The United States have the highest number of total deaths with 71,982 out of 1,214,572 cases. At least 189,791 have been declared recovered. Britain now has the second highest toll with 30,700 deaths from 201,101 cases. On Tuesday, figures compiled by British regional health agencies put the numbers of fatalities at over 32,000. But this includes cases where COVID-19 is only suspected to be the cause, in addition to people who tested positive. 2 COVID-19 patients receiving treatment in Oyo State, as well as 1 each in Niger and Bauchi State, have fled from isolation center. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde said the 2 people who ran away in the state tested positive for the deadly virus. He said 975 samples had been collected for test. The governor said the two fleeing patients brought the number of active cases in the state to 31 instead of 33. Makinde announced the escape of the patients while giving an update on the state COVID-19 figures in a series of tweets on his Twitter handle. The Niger State patient is a woman who absconded from the Mina Isolation Center. Health Commissioner Dr. Mohammed Mumaku Sidi spoke on Wednesday on the fleeing patient at a media briefing in Mina, the state capital. He described the escape as a confirmed case from Kano, saying efforts were being made to trace her whereabouts and bring her back to the center. In Bauchi, Deputy Governor Baba Taylor, who is also the chairman of the Task Force Response Committee on Lassa fever and coronavirus, confirmed the escape of the patient. Governor Babagana Zulum of Borno State has described the last 2 weeks as a period of great trial for the state. The governor said they lost some great elder statesmen and leaders, scholars and illustrious sons of the state. Among them were Shehu Obama, the former governor of the state, Alhaji Muhammad Goni, Galadi Mahmoud Sharif, Wakil Bukar Lawan, Goni Modu Kolo, Goni Habib, among others. Governor Zulum said they received condolence visits and messages from far and near and expressed their appreciation to all for the concern and solidarity in their trying period. The governor expressed sympathy to the people for the lockdown in view of the fact that most of the people are observing the fast of Ramadan, pointing out that most of the people are either peasant farmers, petty traders, or menial workers that must go out on a daily basis to enable them fend for themselves and families. He said it would have been better for a complete relaxation of the lockdown measures if we had an effective vaccine or if the infection rate is declining by the day. But available statistics shows an increase in coronavirus cases on a daily basis and caused mainly by community transmission. The governor said for now social distancing and lockdown are the only veritable options to limit community transmission in the absence of any effective vaccine to fight the pandemic. Verbal obstrophe is being carried out by the Jigawa state government to unravel the causes of the mass death in some of its towns. A 5-member team constituted by Governor Muhammad Abubakar and supported by representatives of the World Health Organization in the state is expected to complete the task on Thursday. The constitution of the committee coincided with reports of similar deaths in Yobe State. The Jigawa fatality in Hadija local government area were put in 150, while that of Yobe is believed to be around 148. Governor Abubakar said while inaugurating the committee that the government has taken this issue seriously. 4 doctors and 18 nurses on Wednesday tested positive for coronavirus COVID-19. The doctors and 6 other health workers tested positive in Bauchi State and the nurses in Niger State. Executive Chairman of the Bauchi State Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Dr. Ruwan Muhammad, who gave a situation update on the pandemic, confirmed the COVID-19 status of the 4 doctors. Addressing a news conference at the Government House, Bauchi, Alhaji Ruwan Muhammad said so many doctors and nurses are getting infected in that area and their families are also infected and they have to follow their families up. Pursuant of Nigerian Police Trust Fund Establishment Act 2019, President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the appointment of retired Inspector General of Police Barrister Suleiman Abba as Chairman Board of Trustees of the Nigerian Police Trust Fund. The President also approved the appointment of the Executive Secretary and members of the board respectively. The executive is Ahmad Aliyu Sokoto, while Mr. Namdi Morris will represent Ministry of Police Affairs and the Inspector General of Police will represent the Nigerian Police Force. The statement indicates that Mrs. Bilkisu Usman will represent Ministry of Justice, while Mr. Ben Akabuze, DG Budget and National Planning, will represent the Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning, as well as Engineer Mansour Ahmad will represent Organized Labour, and Dr. Michael Bamidele Adebi will represent the civil society groups. The above appointments are in furtherance of the Buhari's administration's commitment and drive to retooling policing architecture in the country by emphasizing the Police Trust Fund to meet the aspiration of a well-founded, equipped and highly professional Nigerian police force in line with international best practices. President Muhammadu Buhari on Wednesday sent his goodwill and prayers to the Emir of Daura, Alhaji Umar Faruk Umar, after he was admitted at the Federal Medical Center, Katsina State. President Buhari, who holds the traditional title of Baye Jidda Daura, his hometown, said he received the news of Emir's sudden illness with concern and expressed best wishes for the speedy recovery of the monarch. The president joined the Daura Emirate and the entire people of Katsina State in praying for the recovery of their humble and dedicated Emir, Alhaji Umar Faruk Umar. President Muhammadu Buhari on Wednesday had a telephone conversation with the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Yusuf Buratai, commiserating with him over the passing of his mother, Hajiya Hawa Yusuf Buratai. The president condoled with all members of the family, praying that the Almighty God will receive the soul of the departed matriarch, who lived a pious, prayerful and generous life. President Muhammadu Buhari also prayed that Almighty God will comfort General Buratai, who has been at the epicenter of the war against terrorists in Northeast, urging the family to find solace in Hajiya Hawa's good works. The federal government has successfully evacuated the first batch of Nigerians stuck abroad amid the coronavirus pandemic. On Wednesday, 256 Nigerians arrived in Lagos from Dubai on an Emirates airline flight. The Emirates flight is expected to be the first of at least 2 other flights scheduled to evacuate Nigerians within the next few days. NCDC officials received the stranded Nigerians returnees from Dubai. They will be proceeding to a location for compulsory isolation. All the 256 tested negative for COVID-19 before boarding from Dubai. On business, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) on Wednesday announced a reduction in the ex-depot price of petrol from 113 naira 28 kobo per litre to 108 naira per litre across all its product loading facilities. In a release on Wednesday in Abuja, signed by the NNPC's Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division, Dr. Kenny Obatiru, Managing Director of the Petroleum Product Marketing Company (PPMC), Musa Lawal, was quoted as saying that the new ex-depot price of Premium Motor Spirit (FMS), otherwise called petrol, reflected the company's market strategy to make more sales while complying with the Petroleum Product Pricing Regulatory Agency's PPPRA price template. Mala Lawal explained that the new price regime will enable PPMC to boost its sales volumes from the billions of liters of petrol it has in storage, while providing affordable price to millions of customers. He said the new price was arrived at after extensive review of market realities by the PPMC Internal Price Review Unit. The PPMC MD, however, pointed out that prices of automotive gas oil AGO, otherwise called diesel, which has been deregulated, are determined by market forces. On March 18, 2020, NNPC had reviewed its PMC as coastal ex-depot and NNPC retail pump prices. Thus, effective March 19, 2020, NNPC's ex-coastal price for PMS was reviewed downwards from 117 naira 0.6 kobo per litre to 99 naira 0.44 kobo per litre, while ex-depot price was reduced from 133 naira 0.28 kobo per litre to 113 naira 0.28 kobo per litre. And on the international scene, health workers wearing protective equipment arrived with a man wearing a face mask past an ambulance at a hospital where patients infected with COVID-19 are being treated in Khimki, outside Moscow on May 3, 2020, amid the coronavirus outbreak caused by the novel COVID-19. As Russia's number of confirmed coronavirus cases reaches new highs, its official death toll remains remarkably low compared to other European countries. Officials credit mass testing for identifying large numbers of people with only mild symptoms, but some say the discrepancy is due to how the death count is calculated. If someone dies of a heart attack but has been diagnosed with COVID-19, the official cause of death will be heart attack, said Sergei Timonin from Moscow's Higher School of Economics. In other words, not all deaths of those with coronavirus will be listed as death from coronavirus, said Timonin, deputy head of the university's International Laboratory for Population and Health. That has been the news from Standard First Television. To end the news, a quick look at the major headlines. Governor Matawale approves the appointment of new emir of Koran Namuda. Nigeria records 195 new COVID-19 cases. President Muhammadu Buhari appoints former APC Suleiman Abba, Chairman Police Trust Fund Board of Trustees. On business, NNPC reduces petrol ex-depot price to 180 naira. On the international scene, this speech overcounts as Russia vowed low COVID-19 death toll. That's the news. On behalf of the production crew, Head of News and Current Affairs Department, Ibrahim Garbatuno, I am Samira Ibrahim, wishing you a pleasant day. Keep watching Standard First Television News. Goodbye.